Ivy City is a Northeast D.C. neighborhood tied by its historic industrial past and its growing gentrified future. Homeowners say they are stuck in the middle of an environmental mess of toxic air and pollutants. And we know the environment in this place we all call home matters to you, and it matters to us.
Yeah, WUSA 9 is your home for in-depth reporting on environmental issues like this one here. The working class families who make up that tight-knit Ivy City community tell our Caitlin McGrath they've been working for years for a basic right to breathe clean air.
This picture is from back in the 60s. I knew everybody here, everybody knew me, everybody knew my siblings.
Brenda Ingram has lived in Ivy City her entire life.
It was a nice neighborhood.
When the tight-knit community of Ivy City was developed in 1873, it was hailed as a slice of suburbia for African Americans. The neighborhood was comprised of single-family homes and apartment buildings. Nearby, a rail yard, warehouses, and a factory, which all still exist, along with a very distinctive odor.
How are they able to stay in here, stay in a historic Black community, and use these chemicals?
They are National Engineering Products, or NEP, a company that produces a sealant for the U.S. Navy. The Bethesda-owned manufacturing plant is in this small, nondescript building on a corner in Ivy City. The plant uses chemicals like formaldehyde, ethylene chloride, and acetynitrile, chemicals that can cause health problems, including cancer. For decades, residents have voiced concerns about what flows out of the vents of the small brick building and into the air.
I was just like in disbelief. That is a chemical plant?
Everyone is complaining about the same thing: headaches, dizziness, being lethargic, and having breathing issues.
Residents describe a pungent smell of tar on production days here at National Engineering Products. When we stopped by the facility in Ivy City, it was clear to see and smell their concerns.
The residents did the right thing by bringing it to our attention.
Adam Ortiz is the Mid-Atlantic Region Administrator for the EPA. He says the agency, along with DC's Department of Energy and Environment, have tested the air in Ivy City for more than 100 compounds.
It's more than their fair share, but we haven't found anything that's an acute threat to public health.
The EPA will begin collecting air samples for formaldehyde and more pollutants, which it did not include in its initial testing, and hopes to finish gathering data in September.
Why is it taking so long for somebody to get fired up and say, let's shut this place down?
Shutting down National Engineering Products isn't quite that simple. You see, NEP started operation in the 1930s, long before zoning laws prohibited companies like these from operating in residential neighborhoods, and certainly before federal law required air pollution certification. NEP did not respond to WUSA 9's request for an interview, but the company's president, Nicole Barksdale, did tell our news partners at the Washington Post back in April that NEP, quote, has been cooperating with city and federal officials and has submitted an odor reduction plan.
I'm hopeful and confident that it can be relocated without much trouble.
Ward 5 council member Zachary Parker has introduced the Environmental Justice Act, which will hold companies accountable for polluting communities and violating environmental laws.
No longer are we going to tolerate what has long been a pattern, what I call environmental racism, that we've allowed these type of pollutants to exist in Black and brown communities.
This map of DC, created by Advancing Earth and Space Science, an international nonprofit, shows the percentage of Black residents in each neighborhood. The shaded red area highlights predominantly Black communities, including Ivy City in Northeast DC. And these dots, according to the AESS, represent the rate of deaths attributable to air pollution.
I feel like we're being cheated. Why do we have this in our neighborhood?
The EPA's Adam Ortiz also points to a history of other environmental stressors impacting Ivy City residents.
So New York Avenue is just a few blocks away. There's a rail switching yard that's used by CSX and Amtrak, vehicle maintenance yards for government and utilities. So all these things on top of each other in a working class community is a threat.
This look like me and Chester hanging out.
Meanwhile, Brenda Ingram sits on her screened-in porch watching as change slowly comes to her neighborhood.
Hey, Ted. All right.
Hopeful that lawmakers and federal officials will do something to help her and her neighbors breathe easier. I'm meteorologist Caitlin McGrath, WUSA 9.
certainly dealt with it for long enough. Council member Parker says he's pushing for his Environmental Justice Act to be put forth for a full council vote in September.